a few people who are just joining us. We'll just wait for a little bit for a few more to join.
No worries.
Got loads of lovely people saying hi and waving to us. I don't know if can you guys see the comments your end?
Yes.
Yeah, we're just joining, yeah.
Ah, fab. Okay.
Yeah, if they comment, yeah.
Yeah, I'll read them as well. What's that?
So I was just saying to Jim that there's a little question button as well, isn't there, on your end?
Yeah.
That people can questions.
Okay.
Like a specific thing. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, hi Emma. Okay.
Oh, you sit up.
Right, let's go for it and just start. And we'll let people just keep joining in. So, thank you for being as guests on the first of the Tiny Space sessions. So this is really exciting.
Thanks for having us.
Wow, thank you. So, the first thing that I want to ask you guys is, with everything that's going on at the moment with our lockdown, what is it that you guys are doing with your life at the moment during this time?
We make wooden toys together. So with Easter weekend coming up, we've actually been really busy up until about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to get all the wooden toys made and sent off. But in the last 2 days, then
Not so much.
Not so much, because Easter orders have been sent out and they've kind of gone. Yeah, and then the last 2 days has been like everybody else really. We've been bored and inside for, yeah, like everyone else.
Oh wow, so do you make the wooden toys on site where you are at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see our like little workshop inside our tiny house.
Oh,
the bedroom. But you'll see it later. Yeah.
Not the actual manufacture bit I do outside. I leave all my tools. Well, I have them stored and then I bring them out, set up a bench outside, do that, and then I bring them in and Jordan paints them and stamps them and oils them and gets them packed up. So yeah, I do half, you do half.
So it's very weather dependent because obviously all the tools need to be outside. So on rainy days, no toys can be made.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, so at the moment when you can't do them, it's perfect weather.
I know. Luckily, our neighbours next door, they're building at their house as well, and they've let Jim build the toys inside their lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so kind. Oh, that's good. That's really
which was amazing until the lockdown and social distancing, and then I'm not supposed to be going in the house anymore.
We can't do that anymore.
I had to take all my workbench down, and now I'm back to doing it in the good weather on our land again.
Oh, I see. Were you able to get your stuff from your neighbour's house in time? Because the lockdown happened so fast.
Yeah.
Got it all good.
Good. It's good to hear. Well, as long as you're keeping your spirits up and everything and keeping the communicating going, then that's the main thing, especially during this crazy time. So for people who don't necessarily know about you guys as yet, so I know you as Jim and Jordan from Our Cornish Adventures. For people who don't know about you guys, are you able to just let them know a little bit about what you guys do and sort of the things that you do that make up Our Cornish Adventures?
Okay, so our main following is here on Instagram, where we share about us building our house and us exploring new places in Cornwall. We only moved here just less than a year ago, so it's all about it. It's called Our Cornish Adventure because it was a really exciting decision to move here, to build our house and to explore. So that is kind of like our journey on making Cornwall our home, basically. And then that developed into a YouTube channel where we share every single Sunday. We'll share an update on what we're doing, what adventures we've had, or how the house build is going. And then we have a website it's only a couple of months now we've been running that, with a blog, and it's kind of like a central hub of like where everything else is, where to find everything, because otherwise it kind of gets all a bit spread out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That kind of collates everything.
All in one space, otherwise it gets really confusing. It's like one of those brainstorms that just goes everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
Definitely. Can I ask where you guys originally came from?
Yeah, we came from Essex.
Oh, nice. Nice. So we've got that. I see. Oh, that's cool.
We met at school when we were 16.
Oh.
And yeah, been together 13 years.
Oh, amazing. Oh, that's always nice stuff like that. That's really, really good. Oh, it's so lovely. Would it be possible to have a look at your tiny space and have a little tour?
Pass you over the door.
Oh, okay.
This.
Shall I do it with the camera facing the other way? Let's see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where we're sitting right now. Let me turn the lights on. Oh, no, wrong one. Here we go. Okay, so this is a converted. Well, it's just a static caravan. It's a static caravan. So this is our lounge. Nice. For 8 people. Like, it says up to 8 people, but it's definitely for like a family of 4. It was very 90s when we moved in. We've like changed all of the decor. We've added a wood burner, which is a lifesaver in winter.
So you have to have a wood burner, don't you?
It's our only source of heat in. It's our only source of heat in the caravan.
Okay. Do you cook on there sometimes as well?
You can do, yeah. It's a stove on the top, and then we've got our dining space and our kitchen. So when we were looking for a place to stay, we wanted it to be big enough to be able to work in, and this was perfect for us. And we're going to be living here for at least 3 years while we build our house. So we wanted it to be like future-proof as much as it can. Right, this is going to get dark. I'm just going to turn all the lights on.
I'll definitely have to ask you about this house build afterwards as well. This sounds good.
Right, we've got bathroom.
I can see your house. It's really lovely.
It wasn't. And then this is funny. So we raised our bed. So
okay.
We've got storage underneath. We've got a wardrobe under there. We've got loads of stock under there. So it's just space. So that's fun. This next room.
You guys do that yourselves with your own woodwork tools?
Yeah, so Jim's a carpenter, which is really handy. This is my studio, so this is where the videos are edited, where the toys are made or sewn. This is where my dungarees are made. This is a background where I film, so this is kind of like our work space. And we made the desk out of the beds that were originally in this. This is a kid's room.
Oh, that's cool.
And I love this room. I lots of creative thoughts happen in there. And then the other one was
wow.
Yeah.
Ah.
The other was a bedroom is now Jim's surfboard storage. There's surfboards and there's everywhere. And then this is like his tools to build to build.
Oh, he's got loads of tools. I bet that's a lot of people's dream set of tools. There's so many in there. That's amazing.
So he's obviously got enough to not only make the toys, but he's got enough to build the house as well. So he needs quite a lot. He used to run his own building firm before we made the move. So that's why he's got so much.
I see, that's why he's got a lot of it. And for people who don't know, which this is a little bit of a sneak peek or preview, obviously I saw your sewing machine, and because I've stitched some little pockets for you and donated some fabric that is made from ghost fishing nets, recycled ghost fishing nets, and you're going to kindly make some really cool dungarees out of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to be really sustainable this year. Our New Year's resolution was to try to be sustainable. It's something that we always admired, but I just didn't know where to start because it's such a huge thing, isn't it, to be sustainable? Like where do you start? Yeah, like it kind of scared us a little bit. And as soon as you say you're being sustainable, like you can, I don't know, on social media. Yeah, and especially, like, it's hard. Like, we started to use certain toilet paper, and then somebody was like, actually, they're not as sustainable as you think because they do this, this, and this, and it's kind of...
do you feel like it's going to be sustainable? You feel like you have to be every single avenue of
it's so hard. So we just started small. Yeah, and like little bit by little bit, we're trying.
I think everyone has different views on it. I know for me, with the company, I've learned that you can still be sustainable and have those values and goals, and just progressing towards those goals and aspirations you've got, as long as you've got elements in there that are sustainable. Because, for example, I know, for example, with our fabric, we try and be as sustainable as possible, but when it comes to health and safety or fire retardant, at the moment it doesn't exist. So unless we can point it, which we can't at the moment, you can't do that certain element. But so I think that sort of mentality helps. But I know what you mean, because sometimes you do feel, it's almost like sustainability guilt.
Right.
You are
absolutely. So when you very kindly reached out to us, offering us to run a giveaway with your gorgeous curtains, every inch of me wanted to say yes, because they're absolutely stunning. But we do already have curtains in our camper, and that it's those kind of decisions where you need to think, no, we need them. Somebody else will want them, and actually the two winners were so overjoyed, which made me feel so good that we'd made that choice. So we came to the decision, didn't we, that instead I would be sent some of your fabric that you couldn't use, and I'd make dungarees instead. So that kind of, it meant that everyone was happy, really, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. No, those two winners, I don't know if they're on at the moment, but they're so happy to receive them. I know they've been sent off, and they're really excited about them. So especially during this time, it's so nice to make some people smile out there as well. Just people's spirit as well, which is really, really good. So when you were giving us a tour of your lovely caravan, you mentioned about a house build that you're doing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the static is this caravan's just temporary home for a couple of years whilst we build a considerably larger house in the front. It's 4-bed, 2-bathroom, big garage, bit of a monstrosity.
Do you want to explain why you're doing that? Why we're building something so big?
Yeah, well, I don't know anymore why we're doing it.
Well, this is it. It's really funny. It's so funny because when we were in Essex, we wanted the big house in Cornwall, and we were foster carers, and we wanted loads of children in all the rooms, and that was kind of like our goal. Like, that was what we saw success like. But since moving just in this year, we have changed so much in our values that actually now we don't believe in the house that we're building. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So we're still documenting the process, we're still enjoying it, but now we're saying we're building it to sell, and we want to buy a homestead with the profit, just because that's where our values and that's where like our vision's taking us now. Everything we've learned over the year, we don't want a big mortgage. We're very happy in this tiny house. We want land and to grow, like I'm learning about permaculture, and that just feels so right for us. When I see the plan of that massive house we're building, like, I don't want to live there, I don't want to clean it, I don't feel any attachment. It's a beautiful house, it will be stunning, it will be absolutely stunning for an amazing family, but I don't think it's our house anymore.
Oh, that's so interesting how it's changed. Is the house, are you building the house out of wood or bricks, or?
It's brick. Standard block building, yeah. We're fairly near the coast. It's a more substantial build, do you know what I mean? We could have done it in timber, it would have been quicker.
Yeah.
It's just not going to last as long. They move, they're not as like long term whereas the blocks, not quite as eco-friendly, but once it's up, it's not going anywhere.
Staying the time, especially with, like you say, being that close to the sea as well.
Yeah, and it's not it's really nice. It'll be rendered bottom, hanging slate top half, like lots of lovely details to it, but we didn't have any freedom in we didn't have a great deal of freedom with the design because we bought the land with planning permission on it. And there were some fairly strict stipulations to the planning, so we could change the shape and the layout, but the actual design has to fit in with the other buildings around us, because we're in a collection of about 12-15 buildings, and they're all fairly similar, so it had to match in with its surroundings. We couldn't go full grand designs with it, or like a house or something. Do you know what I mean? It had to be being very traditional.
Yeah, no,
it's an exciting project, but it's not our forever home.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But now you guys know what you want as your forever home. So so you guys have just explained that in the last year, that sort of idea of what you thought you wanted has changed completely. So originally what I was going to ask was, had you always wanted, like, what made you want to get to where you've got now with your space? But even within that last year, it's changed. So it'd be really interesting to see, like, before what made you come to Cornwall and everything like that, and obviously you had your original idea of the place, and then a bit more about how that all changed.
Yeah, okay. Well, when we first met, when we were 16, Jim, the first time he came to my house, do you want to say what you said to my grandparents?
Yeah, your grandparents asked me what I wanted to be, or what I was going to do when I was older. And being the very grown-up 16-year-old that I was, I said I wanted to be a surf bum and live in a van in Cornwall. So I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close.
We're living the 16-year-old dream right now.
Yeah.
At 16 we knew what we wanted to do, and at 27 we didn't. But
exactly.
So it kind of, we always liked Cornwall. We came here for holidays in the summer. We always dreamed about building our own houses. Jim's a carpenter. It just kind of, it's exciting, isn't it? I think even if you're not a carpenter, the idea of building your own house is pretty cool.
I think, especially with all sort of, if people watch the TV shows at the moment, things like building those spaces and how to build a house without a mortgage and things like that, and even the adventure stuff like Ben Fogel's New Lives in the World, and just seeing different
exactly.
It totally inspires you. So yeah, definitely really relevant.
And we had this opportunity because obviously with Jim's skills, it was a reality for us.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting.
Like if we were to pay someone to do the build, like we'd have just never have done it. How anyone affords anyone to build a house for them, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone's asking you to build a house now.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to marry a builder.
But technically I'm not a carpenter. I'm a general builder. I don't have any specific trade, but I can do everything. So I did the groundworks, I laid the concrete, I can lay blocks, I can do first and second fix timber, plaster, roofing, I do that. So luckily for us, I can literally do the whole build.
Yeah.
It's the only way we can afford it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It takes a lot longer, but it's cheaper.
And then bringing it back to tiny living, the reason we're in the caravan is because we wanted to be on site for security reasons, and obviously ease of Jim getting like on and off of site, which I'm really pleased we did. But also it was just about rental saving. We would have had to have, like it would have been equivalent to a mortgage payment. Really, is paying for somewhere to rent. So we thought, why don't we live in a caravan? And then one of my colleagues was building her house, and she was living in this exact caravan. So we bought it from them once they'd finished their build, and moved it from Essex to here on site with help of Farmer Des to put it in place.
Farmer Des!
Farmer Des is a legend.
We can't ask trying to save money in tiny house, and now we love it.
You love it so much that you want to have your own tiny house. So when you say about the homestead of what you'd like to have as your sort of step, have you got an idea of that space that you might like? Is it a cabin? Is it another caravan? Or you're not too sure at the moment?
Completely open. I'd
love to do it with my hands. I'd like to do something with cob or like hay bales or timber. Like, I'd like to be able to be more involved, because obviously the house we're building now is such, you need to be so highly skilled with the equipment that we're using, that I mean I help pass the odd thing, but I really can't be involved that much at this stage. But it'd be really cool if, I don't know, if we made something. Yeah,
I mean, if it's cob work,
then I can get involved.
Together.
Right. Yeah. But definitely something eco-friendly, definitely.
Yeah, much more green next time.
Yeah, I guess. What was that? Sorry.
No bigger than what we're living in now.
No, so sort of that size is you're comfortable. You sort of, I guess it's that minimalistic approach that you've realised actually that you're really happy with that space. You don't need all the extra rooms and everything like that. But it's nice because you wouldn't have known that unless you started doing that building.
We would have completely missed it. Yeah, we would have completely missed out. Because when you're in the house, so we've lived in a 3-bedroom house before. That's what we sold in order to do this project.
Yeah.
And we built it, and we were very happy, and we loved our house, and we thought we wanted to do bigger. You know, bigger means successful, right? The bigger the house, the newer the car. You know, we thought that was what success looks like. And then we came here and met the most amazing people and saw the most amazing projects, and changed our view on what success is. We've got a much better work-life balance now, and that is definitely what we're aiming for. We're not aiming for getting a massive mortgage again, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, who wants a huge mortgage?
If you can help it. I know some people, I mean, there's always a choice, but we've found ourselves in the lucky position that we've got a choice, so we're taking it.
Definitely. And so, is there something that has sort of made you really push to come down to Cornwall? Was there like a turning point or anything that made you go, right, okay, this is the time that we're going to come down, or did it just happen? Or
so I used to work for Jordan's dad. He taught me how to build. I worked for him for 3 years.
Full time, yeah.
Full time for about 3 years, 6 or 7 years, like part time before that. In between, we spent a couple of years like doing a winter in Canada on seasons and things. Yeah, so I was working for Matt. Matt got diagnosed with cancer and was dead 6 months later.
Yeah. He was 49 as well.
49.
Yeah.
And we kind of... Yeah, the whole family was just like, well, all the kids we're already midlife. Do you know what I mean? If that's your lifespan, we're over halfway there. Why are we? What are we doing?
Yeah, wake up! Like that overnight, we were just like, if we're middle-aged, like we need to start living now. Like we might not get to retirement. We might not get to like whatever. Like at that point, I was a teacher in schools. Jim was running his own business. Like we were happy, we were fine. We could have carried on doing that. But it was very much like we will work. One day. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh my god! Like we might never get that one day. What do we want to do? And all of my family within that first year changed their career. Every single one of them.
All of them did.
Yeah, including aunties, cousins, everybody just went whoop, because it's like, oh my god, like life isn't guaranteed. We need to make it happen now. So that summer we
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Connection.
Oh. I think they're still coming back. We've just been Give them a little bit more time, just to let their signal come back. There you go, you guys. Oh, we just lost them. Let's try and see if we can get them back. Bear with me a second. Okay, we're just going to make sure that we get them back. They're just coming back in a moment.
Yeah, okay, sorry about that.
No, no worries at all. Not a problem.
We're doing so well.
No, it's okay. It's part of living in Cornwall and
Living in the
tiny space, so it's not a problem at all. So you guys were saying about the change of mentality after the situation that happened, but then you have then got to this amazing place that you're in now, and I completely understand what you mean. I think you start to have more of appreciation for like work-life balance.
Right.
I'm sure people out there who are watching this now and will see it afterwards, who perhaps have had something that has happened either to them directly or in relation, and you have that switch where you think, if I don't do this now and I don't actually enjoy myself now, you just don't know what's going to happen. And obviously we all like to think, like for me, I always say to people, I'm going to live till I'm 102 at least. It's going to be that. But you do just have to. Pardon?
It's amazing if you do, but it's even better if you live to 102 and you've lived every day like you won't.
Yeah.
Like you can live a much richer, shorter life than some people live long lives.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be the kind of person, even if I did get to retirement. Sorry, I didn't want to be the kind of person that, even if I did get to retirement, that it still wouldn't be a rich life. Yeah. So now any offers an opportunity, we're like, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll do that. Which is kind of where the adventures come in, and buying caravan and getting a rescue dog and everything we're doing. It's just, we just say yes to every opportunity. Yeah.
Oh, so what is your rescue dog that you've got?
We don't know. We don't know what he is. But he's called Hagen.
Oh, really?
Hagen?
Oh, no, bless him. He's bored of us chatting.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Hello. Hey.
What was his name?
Hagen. Hagen, that's it, yeah. He's,
oh, look, so cute.
he loves it. Proper mellow.
He is, he's so cute. Oh, bless him. So have you guys got some adventures that you either were going to do that were already planned, or that now doing?
Yeah. So we've got our own adventures that we wanted to do, but we've also got contracts with brands that rely on us doing adventures, which can't happen. So many, so like clothing and stove pit, so many, and wild swimming guides. Yeah. We had so many cool opportunities which will be postponed. They will happen eventually, but who knows when. So yeah, that's frustrating because we've had such a wet winter. We've been really looking forward to the summer, but it will get there. Yeah. But yeah, we've been
awful winter, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. It's been so wet. Yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry, you were going to...
I can't remember now.
Was it somewhere where you guys were thinking of going to? There were a few places that you
explore a bit more of Cornwall. Yeah, so we haven't really explored too much. We don't. We've explored our local beaches, but we kind of stayed local in the summer. Last summer, because we'd only just moved here, so we stayed really close. So yeah, we were just going to explore, but We were going to go to Ireland as well in August, but it's okay. It will happen eventually. We're going to take our camper van around, but it's on the driveway at the moment.
What's your camper van that you got?
It's a T4.
T4, nice.
Volkswagen T4. Yeah.
Nice. Have you had that moving down as well, or?
Yeah, we only picked it up a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
So you got that moving.
Yeah. We do have a Volkswagen T2 bay window, like 1971. Proper classic camper. But that is an absolute bucket of rust, and it's in a garage back in Essex. That's a long
That's
ongoing
our retirement if we get there.
You're going to be a very busy man, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You don't know half of it. Pinterest, I'm like, so much.
Many lists.
Pinterest is dangerous. Whenever I see it, I'm like, ooh, Jim could make that.
It is. So dangerous. So dangerous. Do you guys know what the time is at the moment? I haven't got a clock in this.
25 to 10.
Yeah.
25 to, okay. Right, I will ask one more question if that's cool, and then we'll open up for people to ask a few questions themselves if they want to. So at the moment you were saying about your jobs that you got, that you're doing. Do you do that full time, or do you have a few jobs on the side? I know that you guys were saying about some riding opportunities that you do. It'd be cool to know a bit more about that.
So my main job is building the house. I then make the wooden toys maybe 1 or 2 days a week, and just recently I've been doing a little bit of maintenance work at an eco campsite just up the road. So that's my three jobs.
Yeah.
And then you've got
I have lots.
Many.
So it's the best way to be flexible, I think. So to keep my eye on teaching, I'm a teaching assistant in a special needs classroom locally. That's 17 hours a week, and then I do the wooden toys as well. We've got 2 wooden toy businesses that run on Etsy and Instagram, and then we've got Our Cornish Adventure, where we get amazing brand opportunities sometimes, and that's up and coming, which is really cool. And then I was just about to start an outdoor learning base at the eco campsite that Jim does maintenance at. And it's on the beginning of May, but it's not going to now. So we're hoping September, but we'll just see. So that's going to be amazing outdoor play for babies all the way up to teenagers, and homeschool and all that fun stuff. So that will start eventually. Yeah, so we do lots of
amazing.
Things. Yeah, but we have a good work-life balance as well. It's not all work. Work definitely fits around our life rather than the other way around. Compared to when I was a teacher, I can pick and choose what I do on what day, how I'm feeling, and I love that. It's all very creative. It's all very outdoor. So we're really happy with our work situation.
Generally, work revolves around low tide.
Yeah, surfing.
Nice. That is so nice, and it's really interesting how you've done this complete transition from, for example, with yourself doing the teaching and the building, Jim, and you had that just one sort of set job that you were doing. I presume you were doing a lot of hours as well, and you're still doing a lot of hours and putting all that hard work in, but it's sort of split up more easily.
Yeah, so if family come and visit, for example, which obviously happens a lot, I know everybody that lives in Cornwall knows that. And if the weather's good for once, which it has actually been for the last 2 weeks, then you can take a week off and then you just work harder the next week. Or I love that flexibility about working for yourself. Yeah, really. It's
you are able to live sort of and enjoy the tiny space, living in the caravan, and you have to build. You guys are going to then eventually sell it to be able to build the house that you're building now as well.
Yeah. And our outgoings are so small. Most of our money goes towards the house build. As for bills and it's the house build and food really. We're nearly off grid here. We don't have water and heating and very minimal anything else. So the cost of living is so much less.
Yeah.
That we can dabble in work and pick and choose and be picky, which is a huge luxury, especially so lucky. Young. We don't take it for granted.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but then it shows your skills as well, because you've obviously got the skills to be able to do all of those different jobs as well, which is really nice. So it's credit to yourself as well to have those skills in there, which is really cool. And just one last question, because as part of Stitcha in the community, although we have the tiny space side of everything, we're really big on sort of the adventures and travel and inspirations that come from that. So you guys were saying that you were meant to be going to Ireland and things like that. Have you got any places that you really just would love to go and visit?
It used to be like abroad and like, I don't know, I mean, I'd love to do Yosemite, like Alaska all the way down, like.
Oh wow, I've not heard of that. What is that called? Yosemite.
Yosemite. So from Alaska, you can go all the way down, past. You can do Las Vegas, Yosemite, California, and you can end up in Mexico if you keep going down. I'd love to do that. That coast. And lots of our friends have gone to Thailand and Australia and New Zealand, but honestly, I love the UK. I really do. And now we've got the camper van. Europe and the UK are open to us. Well, they aren't now, but they will be.
They will be.
I'm so excited to see. To see what's out there. There's so many cool spots. I mean, even just in our local area.
Even within an hour to an hour and a half from here, there is thousands of spots that.
I mean, if you check out after this live, you can check out our second to last post on Instagram. I mean, that could be in Thailand, and it's 10 minutes down the road. There honestly is so many beautiful spots in this country. We are so lucky. So maybe save the air miles. And everything that comes with that, and just explore locally. It's amazing what you can find just on your doorstep.
We are very lucky, aren't we? I remember when I was in Australia, I was on the flight and this lady was chatting to me, and she was so lovely. She was this elderly lady, and she just started saying about how amazing it is to be in England, and she was Australian, but she remembers when she was younger being in England, and she was like, "You're so lucky, you have this and that," and saying all the things that you have. And I sort of stopped and I thought, I have just travelled all around Australia. I went from Perth to Brisbane to Melbourne, Sydney, all the way around, and I thought the amount that I've travelled, even just going from Perth all the way across to Brisbane, is ridiculous. And I've basically done like a good chunk of Europe, if not Europe, that I was travelling. I sort of thought, actually, and that was my turning point of when I'd got back home in the UK, and I thought, I need to see more of Europe. And it's like you say, you then have something like, say, a camper van or caravan or motorhome or something that's a tiny house on wheels, you can then just go and explore. I know Scotland, and sort of Scotland in terms of the places and little secret spots that you can go and see are amazing. And you think that you're somewhere else, don't you?
Somewhere I would like to go though is Iceland.
Yes.
It's like wild and untouched.
A lot of people seem to be really liking going to Iceland at the moment.
You need to get there now before it gets too.
I gave last time when we did our first chat on here, and it was just myself. A lady asked about a tip with Iceland and for sort of first-time travellers. And I told her, even if you're going solo or you're going with people, one tip my friend gave me was that in your suitcase, put things like porridge sachets and just like extra little things in there that you can have whilst you're there, because the food is so expensive. If you you can use in your hotel, like the porridge or soup and things like that, or couscous, it will be a lifesaver, because I remember my friend talking about a baguette. It costed a fortune. I know when I was in where was it? I think it was Oslo, and it was something like we'd get a bottle of water and it might cost £1 or £2, and out there it was £5. It was equivalent to £5. Like, for a bottle of water, it drove me crazy. But
it's a very isn't it?
It does. So yeah, definitely take your porridge sachet.
Yeah.
So before we wrap things up, I just wanted to open it up to the people who are viewing, just in case they wanted to ask any questions, either to myself or to you guys. It might be about your space, if you might have missed it from earlier on the tour, or something that you've always wanted to ask Our Cornish Adventure. I know that I can scroll back on here as well. You've got a few people saying hi as well. Childcare Adventures.
Yes.
Hi, Ivy.
Are they the people that you worked?
No, they're very good friends of ours that we haven't seen in a very long time. Last time we saw them, we travelled to Italy to ski together. So that was great fun. Yeah, they're a good friend that we met through Instagram, which is funny old work.
It's amazing the people that you can meet through Instagram now. It's so lovely. I've just got a question from Emma. Have you found it challenging to run a business from a tiny house, especially with the woodworking?
So,
yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. When we first moved here, we didn't have water or electricity or a phone line or signal or internet or like
so
we had
it
nothing.
Wasn't the most challenging thing hasn't been the woodworking.
No.
The woodworking's not too bad. The most challenging thing was getting B to put a phone line in.
Yeah.
Because it's a structure and it's a new address, so it doesn't come up on anyone's drop down box. That's the first issue we get with anything we try and order or organise, is it's not a registered address yet, so that makes things hard. Sorry?
Does it come to your space now?
It's not technically registered, but the postman just knows us.
Yeah. So your address doesn't get registered, or the house isn't. I don't think you can officially register the address until the house is signed off. So once the house is built, then we can have an official with Royal Mail, all legit with the council address. But until the house is finished, that can't all get done.
Okay.
So
that's just something we sort out down the.
So basically, we were trying to run an online business without any internet. We were trying to run 3 online businesses without any internet. So we'd have to walk up to the field in the morning, collect the orders, come down, make the orders, and then go back up to the field and say they were all shipped off. It was absolutely crazy.
Oh, wow. So would you give yourselves like, okay, I've got to just do as many emails as I can within this amount of time?
So blog posts were not good. We upload YouTube videos every week. We continue to upload YouTube videos every single week, even through those 6 months. We borrowed pub Wi-Fi. We went to our neighbours. I used 4G to upload. That was all of my data for the month. It was crazy, but we did it. Just once I travelled all the way to Exeter, which is over an hour away, just to upload a YouTube video. My sister lives. So that was probably the hardest bit, is just not being connected. But however, it was a nice break as well.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like a social media thing, but then in terms of your business, I guess you just needed that. But then you somehow still made it work as well, which is really interesting.
I mean, through grit and determination, we made it work. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, I bet.
But
I did. Frustrating.
The alternative was to go back to teaching, and I could have done that. It would have been very easy for me to do that, but I didn't want to. The reason I came here was to get the work-life balance. So, yeah, it was through pure grit and determination not to go back to teaching, but I made it work.
Oh, it's so nice. So you almost feel like it was worth going through all of that to get to this stage.
I mean,
oh yeah,
very nearly. Yeah, no, it was. I'm really pleased that I didn't go back to teaching.
Oh,
It's enough to leave in the first place, let alone to have to leave again.
yeah, totally. I've just had someone say that they will never complain about my internet. That you kept it working. Yeah, I think we can definitely vouch for you with that.
And look at us now.
That's so nice. Before we go, are there any other questions that anyone wants to ask Jim and Jordan? Okay, I think. Right, that last question was a really good one, actually. It's really interesting to know sort of how you guys got on with things during that time, because people don't really realise that you sort of just see everything that's up with, like, for example, your blog posts that go up and everything like that, which are really beautiful, and sort of we don't really know that you're actually at some points you are going all this walkway. Just
yeah, exactly. And even now, our internet is so limited that our YouTube videos take sometimes 14 hours, or often they take 14 hours to upload. So we have to do it overnight. So we have to schedule it overnight. So even now, still,
it's still not
great. But I forget that everyone doesn't have to schedule their YouTube videos for 14 hours before they want it to go live.
Wow, it's true. It's very, very true. Oh, we've got a love you much from Iran. Is it Iran? Iran. Oh, Iran.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it's so lovely. Oh, it's really, really lovely to have you. I've got another question of how has the virus affected your business? So has COVID affected your business, which is quite handy for sort of if we've got any other small businesses on here, or people who are thinking about creating a small business and sort of are hesitant about starting one up.
So it's affected every business very differently. Do you know what I mean? Because we've got multiple different things running. The house build ground to a halt on Wednesday because I ran out of materials. All the trades merchants have all shut down and they're not delivering, so I can't get what I need to carry on. So that's had to stop. My wooden toy business, however, is going fine because there's lots of people stuck at home and they're spending more time on their phones.
Yeah, sure. And there's still birthdays and people who deserve it.
Lots of our wooden toys didn't make it to the children in time for Easter because obviously delays, even though they, technically they should have done by a long stretch. Obviously the postal service is so overrun at the moment. So unfortunately they didn't make it to the children in time for Easter weekend. So it is affecting us, and we all run out of wood eventually to make those toys as well. So eventually we'll stop, I'm sure, before the lockdown's over. So yeah, we've had a good run up till Easter, but there's still difficulties there. And then Instagram, I think I'm running out of adventure photos. There's only so many photos I can post of me and the dog sitting on the sofa. I don't forget about that. We'll have to get creative.
Yeah, maybe if you guys have done any of the people have been doing sort of videos and stop motion stuff and some interesting things. There's a guy and things.
So, not tomorrow's video, but next Sunday's video, we've got quite a fun one. Shall I say the title? Yeah. So the title is what adventurers do inside, or what adventurers do on a lockdown. So we're going to try and think of all the adventurous things we can do and ways of doing them inside our caravan.
A silly way of doing each sport within the caravan. So bit of surfing, bit of kayaking, bit of climbing, but all within building the caravan.
Yes, it's going to be very silly, very fun, a good distraction. So that's one day, So we haven't filmed it yet, so we're gonna have fun filming that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys will have loads of fun. Maybe we have to join this TikTok craze that people are doing and add a thing into that as well.
Not this close to doing
we can all learn how to.
That's good.
I didn't even get what it was. What was that?
Join another social media platform.
No, we don't need any more social media.
oh, guys, Jim and Jordan, it's been amazing chatting to you guys. We better wrap this up though. So if I could just ask you guys, before we do go, where everyone can sort of find you, so that they can sort of go and follow your pages or website and things like that.
Okay, so our website is ourcornishadventure.com, and our Instagram is Our Cornish Adventure, and our toys are tevi.toys, so tevi.toys. It's Jim's wooden toys, and then my wooden toys are our Kindy Folk. They're the main ones.
Did you say YouTube?
Oh yeah, YouTube, we're Our Cornish Adventure. Facebook, we're Our Cornish Adventure. If you search Our Cornish Adventure, then everything will come up.
They're all linked. Each one has a link to the rest. So
so
once
if you
found
find
one,
you'll find the rest. And then you've got us for life. Then we'll never leave you.
Oh, that's good. And definitely hit subscribe on your YouTube as well, so then people can sort of watch everything as well, which is really cool. So it's been so much. Thank you for your time. And I will talk to you soon.
No, thank you. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you guys. Take care.
Camper.